the concept cannabis is a substance of abuse. We all agree. So what do you mean by substance of abuse? So I'm going to use the word, they are harmful, they are hazardous, they are psychoactive. The word psycho means, psych means mind. They activate the mind, or they modify the action of the mind. So that is the reason it's called as psychoactive substances. So psychoactive substance for us, it can be alcohol or any illicit drug. So this is the definition that is given by the World Health Organization against the word psychoactive. Psycho means mind, substance affecting the mind or behavior. Illicit, it is forbidden by the law. So in general, that is substance of abuse. So now, what is the problem of substance of abuse? Okay, I consume substance of abuse. So what happens? So number one, it becomes addictive. So we become addicted to that. We cannot live without, or we become dependent. And this addiction can lead to toxicity. So let's start with the simple addictive substance known to us. I'm going to start with caffeine. Okay, so definitely we all agree in some form we need caffeine every day in the morning. So we have been addicted. So because of addiction, what happens? You become dependent. Whether you're flying in an aircraft or you're in a train, when you get up in the morning at 5:36, you have somebody serving you tea. So definitely we become dependent. Are there toxicity associated with that? Yes, in acute, long term, but we don't know. When I say toxicity, I'm again going to bring this word toxic. Yes, caffeine can be toxic, but depends upon how much we consume. It's the dose, the dosage form, the duration, how long we have been consuming. So the same thing goes with nicotine, smoking, am I right? Addiction, dependence, toxicity, and death. So it's a true thing associated with substance of abuse. So now, what are the common substance of abuse? Based on the National Institute of Health, there are several substance of abuse. You see alcohol there, you see nicotine, which we know, but marijuana is also a substance of abuse. So now I just want to make sure that we understand what is marijuana. Cannabis refers to all products coming from the plant Cannabis sativa. There are cannabis, under cannabis, there are three particular plants. One is sativa, there is indicum, am I right? But Cannabis sativa is the most potent one. They have approximately 540 bioactives. So this particular word, bioactives, is a common word now they use in the current scientific community to say the chemicals or substances present in a botanical. Bioactives, 540 bioactives. Marijuana refers to a product from Cannabis sativa, and usually they contain tetrahydrocannabinol, which is also known as THC. Okay, so marijuana, okay, is it's a product of Cannabis sativa, which contains THC. So cannabis with very little THC, less than 0.3%, I'll go through that, is called as hemp, industrial hemp. Okay, anything above that, they have a significant psychoactive potential and they can induce addiction. So now we are clear what we say with regard to, as Dr. Rajiv was saying about hemp. When we say that, the amount of it is basically, it depends upon the amount of THC. Okay, the amount of THC is less, considerably, significantly less in hemp as compared to the other products. So that is the first concept we want to make sure we clear that. And then again, I want to make sure that we understand when you think about hemp and marijuana, it basically depends upon the THC content, the use, legality. There are three aspects that differentiate hemp from marijuana. One is the THC content. THC content is very less in hemp, significantly less, usually less than 0.3%. Uses, both these substances have uses. Okay, and then one has a commercially, it can be used or grown because of the less THC, other one is illegal. So now the second term I want you to make sure we understand is cannabinoids and THC. Okay, cannabidiol, other one is tetrahydrocannabinoids. So both of them are derived from Cannabis sativa. CBD does not have a psychoactive aspect, whereas THC has a significant psychoactive property. So that is the most important thing. Okay, CBD does not affect the brain. However, THC significantly affects the brain. Both of them act by the same mechanism. They both act by binding to a receptor, CB1 and CB2 receptor. Again, it's not a big word. When you think about lock and key in your house, everybody has a key to open their lock in their house. Very similar to that. A chemical in the body has to bind to a target in the body to exert an action. So based on that concept, cannabinoids or cannabis CBD and THC has to bind to a receptor, very similar to your lock and key in your house. A chemical, a key has to bind to a lock to open or to have an effect. Same way, a chemical has to bind to a receptor to elicit an action. So that is the whole thing. So now the concept is, as we started, you think about any religion, any culture globally, we have literatures to show that people have been using it for thousands of years. So we cannot deny the fact that cannabis has been used, is used, and will be used in the future. We can't stop that. So now, as a scientific community, what are we thinking? Why is it still used? So that is the logic question that we have to ask. Different cultures, different religions, globally, east, west, north, south, wherever you go, you have cannabis.